Well, so far on the server, guys, and of course in the survival world before it was a server, I've been pretty, pretty busy bee, you could say. And that's why today's episode, we're going to get some other busy bees to help us out. So yeah, we're getting into bees, and we're getting into honey, which should be pretty sweet. The idea being that we're all going to do shops on this server, right? And I have chosen honey as my shop. So basically what we're going to do is get in today to looking at all things bee related to get a honey farm at the end of the episode that is fully automatic to generate lots of honey for us to then sell, which is awesome. But of course, before we get any honey farms and things set up, we're going to need things. We're going to need, beehives and bees and bottles of honey and all that kind of stuff to get our farm set up. So first of all, let's take a look at how we actually find beehives and honey and all of that good stuff in Minecraft 1.15.2. And of course, that was done as the 1.15 update, so this will work in the future as well until they update bees, which I doubt will be for quite a while. So guys, here we have it, a naturally occurring beehive, as you can see right on the tree right here. Now you can find them in plains and sunflower biomes, and they have a 5% chance of spawning there, 2% chance in a flower forest, and 0.2 in forest, wood hills, birch forest, tall birch forest hills, and tall birch hills. Oh, hello bee, he just went into the hive. I'll put a link to the bee. Oh, look at this guy, hello. The bee wiki in the description. You guys can get that information. But so here we go. We got a beehive, and there should be at least one bee in there we just saw. Now it's important to use a silk touch pick on this. Oh, hang on, are you going in there? Or other silk touch tool? Are you going to get in the hive? I might wait and hope that this guy goes in, because then we can pick him up. But no, it doesn't look like he's going in. Okay, well, we'll just pick this one up. So we there it is. For a second I thought I'd destroyed it. Okay, so we have our bee nest on us right now. If we hover over this, there we go, bee nest. So we are good, we've got a bee nest. Now, I'm going to go and have a look for a few others, but just to say, if you are trying to find them naturally occurring like this, in order to get the biome, there might be another bee over there, I think I saw there. If you press F3, obviously, you can get the biome information up. So you can see right here, I'm in a forest, so be sure to use that to find it. Now, I'm going to have a look over here, and let's just see, because there is a bee here, so that means there might be a hive nearby. All right, or maybe I have his hive and he cannot get home now. So I'm going to need to get like a few of these together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to look at how you can actually make your own beehive. So you have to explore like this to find them. There are other ways of getting them as well. I'm just going to have a little look around here whilst I'm here. So obviously finding bees' nests can be a little bit difficult, especially depending on where your base might be in the world. So another thing you can do is you can grow trees near flowers, and this is supposed to give you a 5% chance of generating a beehive with up to 3 bees in it. So we're going to try that right here. Now apparently it needs to be either birch or oak sapling. So I'm actually going to do this in 2 test runs. We're just going to put down a block here of birch, or a sapling of birch, let's say, to start us off. And you see they're growing near flowers. They need to be within a few blocks of flowers. It says the exact amount on the wiki, and I will confirm that in a second. But basically, we're just going to put them down all like this. Maybe need a few more flowers here. I'm going to do 16 of each and see how we go. And I think it's a 5% chance. So technically, we'd need 20 to guarantee, as a 1 in 20. But we'll see how this goes. Now, I'm assuming it works with bone meal. So I'm going to go grab myself a load of bone meal and have a little test of this. But obviously, this is a much better way to get beehives, once you've got yourself a few saplings and bone meal, or even just the time to wait for them to grow, than necessarily flying around and looking for them that way. Okay, so just check the wiki. I was correct, it is birch or oak saplings. They have to be grown within 2 blocks of a flower of any kind. So I believe all of these are within 2 blocks. So let's just see how we go here. I guess worst case scenario, we're going to get ourselves a lot of birch wood, which I don't necessarily need, but, there we go. We'll see how this goes. So hopefully we get at least 1 beehive, so I know that this works. As I say, we kind of should have done this with 20 to expect to get 1. And so far it's not looking too good, but we've still got a few left to go. Let's see. What do you reckon, guys? Are we going to get this or not? Now, that if we grow them too close together, I don't know if that has an impact on things or not. I've tried to space them out a little bit, and hopefully there's enough space. Oh, hang on. I don't know if that's within 2 blocks. Rather than counting, I'll just do this. Yep, that's not looking like it's going to... Oh, did you hear that? There we go. We have a beehive. Okay, so it does definitely does work. I heard something there. I definitely heard a noise there. Okay, that's awesome. So, so clearly this does work. We got our own little bee here. So this is a definite way that you can get yourself a beehive. and probably a better way, really, to get a beehive. And this, oh, look at this, there's at least 2 bees here. This is awesome. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is have a look at, look at these guys, how you can breed bees. So if we hold a flower, bees will follow you, a bit like, you know, if you're holding wheat, cows will follow you, for example. Now, what do you do if we right-click this guy here, he gets the love hearts, we can do the same there. Now, these guys are going to be together for a little bit, and baby bee! How cool is that? They are the cutest, probably the most awesome animal in Minecraft right now. I'm sure you'll all agree. So there we go, we now have another bee, which is awesome. So that is how you breed bees if you want. The other thing to say is if you have a lead, you can put bees on a lead. I'll reduce, stop holding the flower now, and they can go and do their own thing. But you can put bees on a lead and bring them that way as well if you want. So there's a couple ways there that you can get them wherever you want them to be. Okay, great. So now that we've got our hives and the potential to get honey and that type of thing, now we can actually take a look at how we're going to make a bee farm and automate the honey process, which is going to be very useful, obviously, for our shop and for honey throughout the server. Okay, now in terms of getting honey out of the actual beehive itself, you're going to need some glass bottles, and also you need this kind of texture here. So you see here we've got the yellowness in these kind of holes. Before that, it's a much darker colour, closer to a sort of black colour, and that means there's no honey there available. Now, I could just right-click right here, but the bees would get angry at me. So then they would attack me and hurt me, and that's not good. So instead, you'll see I've got a campfire, and what you have to do is smoke the bees out to simulate how it would be in real life, I suppose. So place that under there, just like that. There we go, there's our campfire. Now, any bees around here now are going to get smoked out. They're going to be docile. They're not going to attack us. I don't know if there's any bees around here, but they would get docile. You're going to have to take my word for it. This is how you do it. So then you simply right-click with your bottle, and we have honey bottle, and we've got Be Our Guest enchantment, or advancement, I should say, which is pretty awesome. So then you can remove that with your axe if you like, and you know, use that again in the future. You only get 1 honey bottle though, so it's kind of slow. Like if you just were doing this with the beehives and stuff, you'd be here for quite a while, right, getting these things, which is why today we're making an automated farm. But that is how you get your honey bottle, and actually we're going to need honey bottles to make the farm I'm going to be making today, so that's how you do that. So I thought I'd show that bit, and we're going to get on with the automating of the farm pretty soon, but that's how you get your honey, guys, just so you are aware. So once you have your beehives all grown like we have here, another thing you can do is get honeycomb from them. So again, you're going to want to place a campfire underneath so the bees don't get angry at you. And you're going to want to use shears. And if you right-click with shears, you'll see right there we go, some honeycomb has flown out. And you get yourself 3 honeycomb. You can, at this point, obviously pick the fire back up and head on your way. Now, honeycomb can be used for all kinds of things, so I'm actually going to go back up to my base here and get into some of the recipes of the uses for this honeycomb. Okay, let's take a look at some recipes here with the honeycomb block. First of all, if you use just 4 of them, you can get yourself these honeycomb blocks, which are quite nice to build out of and that type of thing. I don't actually want to do that right now because I kind of need these because I want to make something else, which are the beehives. So here we go, beehives. So basically, as you can see here, you can use different types of wood for this, and also the honeycomb in the middle gives you a couple of beehives. So these are kind of man-made bee nests, and they're going to be used in the farm that we make later today. Just to say, if you wanted this honey block, this is how you make it with 4 of these honey bottles. I need these bottles as well. It's all for the greater good. We're going to make this farm up, and then we'll have like unlimited of all this. But just to mention the recipe at this point, that's how you get those honey blocks if you're looking to get those. So I believe now I have everything I need, so I might just get everything all in one place and look to actually get on with the farm building so that we get the unlimited honey. So it's time for us now to look at building our actual bee farm area, and I do have a pretty decent idea, I think, of how I want to do it. You see here, the palette I've got here are the yellow and black concrete, because those are bee colours, right? Yellow and black. So I think this is going to look pretty cool. Now, in terms of where we want to build it, that's the next thing. I don't think a big yellow and black building that's automated bee farm is going to be very in keeping with the pirate theme. So we're going to come over here to where we started our AFK farms, because we are over time going to develop this into a bit more of a modern sort of area. Yeah, we've got a few things going on here. This is, I was using this before, my concrete machine, as you can see there, to get all the concrete together for this build, and no doubt I'll have to use that again. And I don't want to build it actually on this platform. I think I want to make it a separate structure because everything you see on this platform, we're going to kind of encase in a giant tower eventually. So then there's going to be other towers around here, and that's going to be all part of how we're going to do this build in this area. So what I'm going to do is have a little look around at where we're going to build this, and I might just build it sort of in the ocean somewhere or something like that and build it up. So let me find a good spot, but it'll be somewhere near here, and then we'll get on with the actual building. And first of all, look at what it's going to look like aesthetically, and then how it's actually going to function. Now, the good thing about this farm is it is going to be used to get as much honey bottles and honeycomb as we want, and you can actually choose which it's going to be. So you could have all honeycomb, all honey bottle, or a mix of both, like I'm going to do. So it's pretty good design, and yeah, I'll show you guys how to build that in just a sec. So I've made a bit of an area here where we're going to actually have the beehives. I was looking at just doing like one, but I think having three is going to look a little bit better. So when this loads up, I think I'm lagging a little bit right now. You should be able to see them. There we go. The first one's coming into view. There they are. Yeah, so let's we'll fly into this tray right here, and then we can kind of have a look at them. And then I'm going to fly over there and set up a bit of a workstation, because this is just like the outside of the hives, obviously, right? Let's jump up on here. So yeah, this is what they look like. I think it's going to look kind of cool. You have to kind of use your imagination a bit, that eventually this area is going to have like all kinds of other stuff going on as well, including this big building here that's going to encase all of this stuff. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a modern area, and yeah, I think they're going to look pretty good. So let's have a little fly down over that way, and we'll get the work area sort of set up as well. And we can have a little look at, oh my goodness, that was a bit quicker than I expected, how these are going to kind of work. So what I think I'll do is probably have the biggest one here, and maybe the smallest one here as one thing, and this one as another. So like we might have, say, honeycomb in this one, and honey bottles in these two, or something like that. Now what I'll do is, let's just walk inside one of these a second, and I'll show you guys what's going on. They're hollow right now, so we can just kind of bridge in here like this. Very good. So yeah, this is what they look like from the inside. Now what we're going to do is have big sort of farms set up here with rail systems collecting all the items, and probably all the items will come down to the bottom, because it's generally easier to get items down than up, as you guys know. And then we're going to get them all to like a central area here, a little bit of storage area here. It won't be made of dirt, don't worry. But yeah, so that'll be like our way of getting all of our honeycomb and honey bottles and stuff. And I'll try and get some bees going around the outside. Also, you can probably see it best on this one. You see, like, this is how it gets to the top. I want to do something to the top of it to try and make it look a bit more like a beehive. But yeah, I like the colours of it. I think it's looking cool. So the next thing to do is to go and build one of these layers and a collection system, and I'll show you guys how we're going to do that, and then I'll just fill in all the rest, because basically once you've got one, the rest are going to be the same. So yeah, let me go and make up one of these levels, and then we'll come back and have a look at how this is all going to work. So the hives are now built, and this is pretty much what they're going to look like, but there's going to need to be a bit of an ongoing project here, because getting enough bees in is proving to be quite difficult. I'll just run you through how this is going to work though. If we hop like inside here, you can see we've got a minecart here going underneath, a hopper minecart, and that's going to pick up any drops from the bees. And then over here is an unload system. It'll unload into this chest and go on like that. So you guys will have been familiar with this type of system, no doubt seen something like it before. If we go up in here, we can kind of see how the bee setup is. So here we go, one guy just came out there. So they come out, they pollinate on these flowers, they go back in, and the observer here gets triggered, and inside these dispensers we've got shears, so these are all for honeycomb. The honeycomb will then, as you see there, it's fallen on the floor. That's actually quite lucky that happened during this tutorial. So, oh, there we go, it's gone already. So if you wait, the hopper minecart will come pick it up and offload it. So that's kind of it, that's how it's going to work, and we're going to do the same with bottles as well. This tower is going to be purely honeycomb, and all of the unload systems are going to come off into this middle patch here. So if we fly kind of over this way, they'll be, you know, mostly hidden, and I can build some sort of nice tower around it or something like that. But this is going to be sort of this main structure, and I think it looks quite cool. I think once it's part of like a base that we're building up around here with lots of modern facilities, and we'll maybe put some grass underneath it and that type of thing, so it's not just like floating on water. I think at that stage it will look pretty cool. But that's basically how we're going to get all of our honey for the shop. But as I say, it is going to need to be an ongoing process, because I need to get way more bees bred up and brought over to here. Like this top level right now has 0 bees, so we're going to need to sort that out. I also want to kind of do something with the top of these, so it looks kind of cool, and maybe looks a bit more like a hive, so maybe something a little bit different to just the same pattern we've got going on there. Well guys, that's going to be about it for today's episode. As I say, this will be an ongoing project. If you enjoyed this episode and if you found it useful, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really is greatly appreciated. But for today, that's going to be about it. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.